How strong do you actually need to be for military service? Let's put it to the test. Today, I'm testing myself against the body weight strength standards used in the military. We're talking pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, the basics that tell you if you're military fit or not. I'll be taking on each test, so make sure you stick around to see whether I pass. Guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the 12 weeks to get military fit series. If you're new to this series, it's exactly what it says on the tin. Over the next 12 weeks, I'm putting myself and you through our paces to get physically ready for military service. Last week was week 1 and it was all about baseline testing. This meant that I did the bleep test and this is how I got on.
Yeah.
Not too bad to start off with. Level 12 on the dot. Probably was starting to miss the shuttles. It's a 3-strike rule, so I might have got 12.1, 12.2, but it's not making much difference. This week is week 2 and it is all about body weight strength. Again, I'll be baseline testing. So what is baseline testing? Is essentially understanding your current fitness level. So I will be doing pull-ups, push-ups and sit-ups to hang around to see if I actually pass the tests. Strength in the military isn't just about banging weights in the gym. Carry your own kit, carry your own weapon, carry your own body weight, but potentially other people as well. Different militaries have different standards, but for today we're going to be focusing on what the British Army and the Royal Marines consider as pass marks for their tests. Now, you might be sat there thinking, why pull-ups, why push-ups, and why sit-ups? And I'll explain it. Pull-ups. Obviously a good sign of upper body strength, but you will have to climb over walls and different barriers and whatever when you're actually in. So having good upper body strength is really important there. Push-ups. If you're joining the infantry like I did, you will spend the majority of your time on your belt buckle crawling through shit. So being able to have some good upper body strength where you can drag yourself across the floor is going to be pretty important, especially if you've got kit on your back and a weapon in tow as well. And then finally, sit-ups is a sign of core strength and stability. Everyone thinks that when you join the military, you just start running with weight, but core strength is a key component to good running, especially when you've got kit on your back. Imagine having 40 kilos on your back and you're trying to go uphill, you end up hunched over and that weight just slowly starts to bury you. Having good core strength means that you can stay upright for longer, which helps with your breathing, which basically means that you'll find it slightly easier as you go through. So core stability and strength is hugely important for that. So without further ado, let's get to the gym. Body weight strength is a massive part of being in the military. Not only are you going to be expected to carry your own body weight, you're going to be expected to carry other people and extra weight, plus all your kit as well. So if you can't do a basic pull-up, push-up or sit-up, then you're going to really struggle when it comes to more demanding obstacles or exercises, such as massive walls to climb over or be on some sort of casualty evacuation. So today, we're going to break down pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups. Number 1, we're going to do ring rows. This could also be in your gym if you don't have rings, but you have a TRX. Then essentially we're just doing rows. So you want them set up just under chest height. And then very simply, you just lower yourself into a position and you're pulling your chest to the rings. Don't let your core sink, raised, and then we pull our chest to the rings or the TRX machine. And you really want to engage that scapula, which is the upper back, and the lats. Try not to pull with the arms too much, or as in feel the pressure in your biceps, and really try and pull with your back. To make it harder, we can go flatter and more horizontal. To make it easier, we can go more vertical. And the final progression is moving on to pull-ups themselves, but in a slightly different format. What we're going to look at here is negatives. So essentially, you want some sort of box. You want some sort of box that you can reach the pull-up bar, and we're going to jump up with our chin over the bar and then slowly lower ourselves at a specific tempo pace, either 3 seconds or 5 seconds, just like so. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now on to push-ups. The first progression for a push-up I want to do is box push-ups. Very, very simply, if you're still trying to develop the pushing power to be able to get down on the floor and do a decent push-up, then I want you to start with a box. So pretty simple, set up like so, and we're just doing essentially incline towards the box. And I want your chest to be able to touch the box itself and then push away with the arms. Again, keep the core tight so you're not slouching or dipping at all in the midsection. Progression number 2 is going to be push-ups on your knees, or a kneeling push-up. So very simple, down. When we push away, we're gonna lift our feet, and then again, keep the core tight so you don't slouch in the midsection. And when we push away, we'll be on our knees. You can do this on one knee, you can do this on both knees. Doesn't really matter, but we're just trying to make sure we've got that pushing power. And the last bit will obviously be moving on to a normal push-up. Finally, we're going to look at sit-ups. I'm sure everyone watching this video can do at least one sit-up, but if you don't yet have the capacity to be able to do them in high volume, then we're going to break down a couple of different ways. Okay, first is a butterfly sit-up. This is slightly easier because you're using some momentum. Put your feet together so that your legs are open like this, and then we're going to put our arms behind our head and then swing forward. This alleviates some of the pressure in the core because you're using momentum to sit up, but it's still a core workout. Just like that, repeatedly. Butterfly sit-ups. Okay, so this isn't a direct assessment either. However, I think it might be brought back in the near future. If it's not, then this is still a good way to test your core strength. Back in the day when I went through into training, this was a test and you had to get 55 sit-ups in 2 minutes. Now your feet were anchored, i.e. someone else, your mucker who's about to do it after, would hold your feet in place, which does make it considerably easier today. And what I think anyone watching this video and training for the tests and getting ready for basic training, make it a little bit harder by doing it with your feet unanchored, so not fixed in position. What that will do is make sure that you're not using any of your quad or momentum to lift yourself back up. It's all directly in your core, which is what we want to strengthen. That's the purpose of this. So we're still going to do 2 minutes, and we're basically just going to see how many we can get.
And then it was on to the pull-up test. Now, when you do the actual pull-up test, either for the Royal Marines or the Army, you will do it to an audio, and that is to a beat. So it actually does make it considerably harder. What you can see here is as I'm lowering and raising, I'm then holding myself in either position. So full extension at the bottom, arms straightened out, then a beat goes off. That is the signal to raise, and then I'll hold myself in place above the bar with my chin above the bar, and then the beat goes off, and it's basically repeated. And it does make it a lot harder.
$15, definitely not bad. I think the pass mark is 4 or 5 for the Royal Marines, so 15's a clear pass. I think it's one of the highest scores as well. For the Army, this isn't an entry test, but it is a test that you will do. Remember, this test, that's all well and good, being able to pass it, but it's really just more about what you're able to do after that. So when you're in the field on exercise, especially if you're joining the infantry or you have aspirations to join the infantry, it's about what that means that you can do in the field. Climb over obstacles, good upper body strength, carry other people, all that type of stuff. So 15 is not bad. Also considering I haven't been regularly training for a little while. It's the last time that I will mention having a couple of surgeries. Next test is the push-up test. Jesus. Feel that on 8. I could really feel it on 8. All right, quick breather and then push-ups. $60 is not bad actually. So the pass mark, there isn't this style of push-up test anymore, but the push-up test will be coming back. Push-up, press-up, whatever you want to call it. So at the moment, it's not directly assessed, but in the near future, the British Army will be bringing a push-up test back in. Whether it's 60 seconds, whether it's 2 minutes, I don't know. However, just doing this style of test is going to help you prepare to pass that one as well. So the old pass mark was 44 in 2 minutes. I just got 60, so a clear pass. Back in the day, I actually think I was getting 80 and above. So you can tell I don't do push-ups that often anymore. But with a bit of practice, you can see some really good results. When I was actually preparing for the push-up test specifically back in the day, I think it was like I was doing the morning and evening every other day. And yeah, I was into 80 or something, which was a good score. So another pass, room for improvement. And last but not least, sit-ups. And that is 2 minutes. You can really feel that in the core. To be honest, when I did this test a while ago, years ago, I felt it way more in my quads than my core, because when someone's holding your feet, it's really sort of thrusting almost, and you feel it a lot there. This definitely targets the core a lot more, which is all good training. So I've already forgotten, what was that, 57 I think? 57 in 2 minutes without feet being anchored. Another pass, doing it a bit harder as well. And a sign of decent core strength. So again, this is video number 2 over the next 12 weeks. The aim is to improve on all of these scores by being consistent, regular strength training, regular body weight strength training as well, and making sure that we're as fit as we can be.
So there we have it. That is the baseline assessment done. I've done the bleep test and I've done the bodyweight strength assessments. The next time I do those tests, it'll be the end of this series, week 12, and we'll see how much fitter I've got. So the next 10 weeks are crucial. If you're currently getting ready for military service and fitness is an area that you need to get better at, then this series is for you. You can put everything that I'm doing into your own plan and make sure that you are ready on day 1 of basic training. If this is helpful, make sure you click subscribe, click like, it hugely helps me out on this video. Also click the bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you next week with a brand new video.